Good night, everyone. Welcome to another live, another security with Rise Up. A lot of fresh news, a lot of information on security, on how to stay safe, how to be rich and stay rich.
Yeah.
Some people, become rich and then they lose it all. So how to
Well,
stay rich?
for some people, it's the route they took to get rich was never sustainable in the first place. So we've seen a lot of that lately, actually. Do-kwons and the SBFs, you know, they just like I said, they took a route that's unsustainable. They got mega wealthy, but they couldn't stay there. There was no way. You can only play that game for so long before you get got.
Yeah.
Now, Doquan's a little at the moment it's a little different because it's not so open and shut. But or I don't know that open and shut's probably even the right word for SBF either. But at the same time, it's Doquan's it's a different situation. There was a true bank run. They basically broke their algorithm. An attack caused it, but they should have foreseen it. But it's a little different than the SBF situation in that, I mean, there was virtually no accounting being done. And it basically was like, we're not going to take records because if we do, we can be held accountable for it. But if we don't have any accounting, then we're not accountable because we didn't know. We have plausible deniability by not keeping the records. Hey, Empress, how's it going?
Good night, Empress. I sent you a link. I don't know if you're busy, just listening. If you want to join us, feel free. I actually didn't send you because I thought you were busy still, but more than happy to have you over with us. Hello, everyone. What's up, Conservo? I'm always late as hell or too early. Well, let me tell you something. You're always on time.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here, guys. Share the tweet, share the space. So there's a lot going on. We're gonna go, over the basics for security and all of that. But we got some fresh news on the FTX, on much more, and I'm gonna let Ty take over since he's the newsman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if a lot of these people have been paying attention on Twitter, I'm sure they've already seen that they've been kind of throwing jabs, both Coinbase and Binance through CZ. And they are basically calling out SBF and saying, hey, you're walking around here saying that this is, oh, golly gee, I'm too dumb to know better. And you can't, I didn't do anything wrong except for I did everything wrong, so you can't hold me accountable because I'm too stupid to know any better. And we all know better than that. He is not so stupid that he collected and got himself up to tens of billion. I think he was up to 30 something billion at one time at the peak of the market,
30.2 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, and let me tell you something. I feel like in the beginning, when I heard him first speaking, I was like, wow, it sounds like Mark Zuckerberg, somebody new with a lot of ideas, but then at the same time, getting the job done. Because Mark Zuckerberg, he got the job done when he had to, right? So at the same time, getting your job done. And then all of a sudden, like, he's this very smart person with all this knowledge. And all of a sudden, when we hear him, he's like, mom's little boy, please don't hurt me. I didn't know, I made a mistake. Like, come on, are you being for real? Like, it's $30 billion.
I want people to remember that he was one of the stars of crypto that sat in front of Congress, that Congress was listening to. People, I mean, regardless of what you want to say about any donations or any of that, there's really no point in going back and forth right now about that. I'm sure there's lots going to come out more about that as time goes on. But really, I mean, even what we know for a fact is that he went and sat in front of Congress as an expert, and he was stealing everybody's money, So
yeah,
that tells you all that you need to know.
To Congress, which is even crazy. But hold on, let me bring somebody special up one of our lovely friends, Empress Education. How you doing? Or as known as Saitama Empress.
Hey, Empress.
Everyone. Hi, Ty. Hi, Junior. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
Doing
good.
well.
I'm ineffectively multitasking at the moment. I am at the gym with my son. We're in the sun
Oh,
right
is that a
now.
sauna? Nice.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Hey, you both at the gym on your
Workout
phones.
Yeah, exactly. In the sauna, getting a little warm up before we go actually work out.
Awesome.
I just happened to catch you guys. I'm glad I did. Just wanted to say a quick hello. He's like, Mom, are you really going to be going live from the sauna? I'm like, oh, I'm going to give it a try.
I
Yeah.
mean, it works.
Hey.
As long as you're not, playing like a refugee when he went on the pool.
In the
just with
pool,
his
exactly. He was hardcore. He was broadcasting from the pool. That was incredible.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how you
Empress.
doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. I haven't been privy to all that fantastic news that has come out. Fill me in. What's been going on with Rise Up?
Fill
Well,
in,
I
Tony.
mean, well, we did have to pull back on we were going to launch 𝗪𝗧𝗛, but we did pull that back just because of the market, as we were just talking about with FTX. We didn't really, what we did is we were about to announce, we were within days of announcing our actual launch date. And as this started unfolding, it was getting clearer and clearer. And as we watched launches happen, there was no sustained volume. You would get a decent amount of volume at launch. You'd see a pump, you'd see
Right.
the inevitable dump, but then there'd be nothing after that. There'd be no volume to sustain the actual, oh, we lost her. To sustain.
I think we lost connection there.
Yeah, in the sauna. I was surprised she was getting connection in the sauna.
Yeah, right. I mean,
It's pretty enclosed, which I guess it was wooden, so.
I'm actually checking something out here as well.
Yeah, it's fine. She probably just lost connection in the sauna. But like
Yeah.
we announced, Junior, I'll go ahead and finish. Like we announced, we just wanted to hold back because we did this. We're not trying to. This isn't a money grab or anything. We don't want to launch just to launch. That's not the reason for launching. The entire reason for launching 𝗪𝗧𝗛 is to reach more people, more investors, to be able to teach more people so that we can have a more recognizable name and be on the ETH chain. Obviously, like we said, if that's what it's for, it's not to go out and get money that we need, then there's no reason to do it unless we're 100% sure that it's at least a somewhat stable market. Crypto is never completely stable, so you're not going to find this perfectly just stable market, ever. But at the same time, this is abnormally unstable. I mean, every day we're waiting for a new exchange to, the next shoe to drop and say, hey, we're going to file for bankruptcy if we don't get this much money. Because every couple of 3 or 4 days, we're hearing about somebody else and somebody else. And we've been hearing these whispers for a while about a lot of these projects and, exchanges. I shouldn't really call them projects. I mean, they're companies, they're exchanges. And now that's kind of starting, all the dominoes are starting, FTX kind of started that ball rolling and everything's coming down the pipe right now. So I just think it's a good idea for us. Other projects do what they think's best for them, but for us, for the reason that we're launching it, we just don't see it as a good time.
Yeah. Speaking of, launching, I'm gonna say it again. What I said in the past. I think you guys did the right thing. I am that kind of investor that I don't worry about, things getting out at a certain time, as long as if that time is, the right time. For me, market situation is definitely something that the project has to look for it, because you're dealing with people's money. And if you list it like right now, that wouldn't be so good like it should be, right? So I mean, no hush, right? I mean, get things done the right way, how it should be done, and everything else should, be just fine. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it like, oh man, they said they were gonna put it, but then they didn't. Like I see many people going crazy about other projects, like even Tacoma. Oh man, we want
Well,
tier one listings. We want. No, I don't. Not right now. I want in the
yeah.
bull market. I don't want it right
Well,
now.
there's no worse outcome than for me when I make mistakes. In my experience, is when I rush, when I try to force that square peg into that round hole. Sometimes after the fact, you realize why it wasn't supposed to go in there. You accomplish it and you get there and say, well, that really wasn't worth it. We could have attacked this in a different way. So it's just, I don't ever like in crypto, especially. I've said it many times on here. I just do not like to rush. Anytime I feel like I rush, anytime I feel like I'm trying to, anytime in the past, because I don't do it anymore, anytime in the past that I have ever tried to chase a candle, it has never worked. Never worked. It may work for a minute, and you feel like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden it dumps. You're like, oh, I didn't get out quick enough. And it's just, we all have to learn what we do and what we like to do and how we like to do it. But that's just, it's right now. You just don't even really get that. It's a tough one right now. I think you're frozen, Junior. I'm sure he'll be back in just a minute. Oh, there he is.
I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I just switched my Wi-Fi connections. I do not know what happened. I did have some problems, which I shouldn't. I haven't had in a while, but we're back.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I was sitting there looking. I was going, why is he staring at me like that? I mean, he hadn't even moved.
You're scaring me, man.
It's not blinking or anything.
Sorry. Go ahead, man. What were you saying about well, did you stop on
Well, I was just talking, I was pretty much done. I was just talking about how, the market right now, where it is, going back to what we were talking about before, it's just that sustained volume is very tough. It's tough to keep it going because there's a lot of people out there that aren't normally, but are right now just looking to look for some quick flips, and that maybe is not what they normally do, but just because the market is the way it is, that's what, just to play or whatever they want to do, so you see a lot of things launch and they don't do bad, and then you see the
people are greedy. It's never enough, and they always want to trade, and there's some projects that they like the most, and they will try to trade other projects so they can jump back in those projects that they like and have even more tokens, right?
And I don't knock anybody. I mean, if that's what you do and it works for you, then do it. I don't knock anybody for it. But as a project, you need sustained volume in both directions. Especially you can handle it like right now if you have established yourself and have a base. And you hit a bear market, the lower volume's not so bad because you're kind of solidified, you're there. But when you first launch, before you get that solid ground for that token, then all that volume goes away. It's really hard to sustain it.
I agree, man. There's a lot of information people don't know about projects. It's not just creating and launching there. There's a lot more involved, like numbers, daily volume, and community. And oh man, there's so much involved that regular people don't know. And it's difficult to make a project pump. At the same time, it is easy if you go on the right time under the right conditions, right?
Yep.
But since she's not coming back, is there any other news that you would like to touch on from the Rise Up team, or we're still on the same point?
Just that we'll probably have some more news coming pretty soon as far as our screener upgrades and some other things that we'll be releasing very soon. And we will be starting some testing of some new things too. So.
That is good. So back to the FTX that we were saying, the story. It's even comic saying this, but the poor little boy.
I mean, that's how he tries to perceive it. I mean, it for me, and that's exactly what they said it is. It's his pity tour. You know, he's going on tour and trying to make people feel sorry for him. You know, oh, poor me. I didn't know what I was getting into. These big bad people took advantage of me. I didn't know I was supposed to keep accounting records of a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, it's laughable. You know, I mean, it to me, it's a it's a it's a slap in the face to me that you're insulting my intelligence that I would actually believe that. You know,
Is that video that I saw true where he's going on an interview and like people are clapping
he's already
for him?
he. Well, I don't know about clapping. I didn't see the interview, so I don't know. But he's
People are
already
like
done multiple.
congratulating
He's
him.
already done multiple interviews, especially on Spaces. He's done multiple interviews and whatnot. It's a Good Morning America or somebody he spoke to. I mean, you know, there's been some pretty reputable news organizations that he's spoken to, and it's always the same thing. I didn't realize. I didn't know. You know, and it's just, come on. You know, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, it's just I have a
don't
hard
deal
time.
with billions
I don't know
of
how. It's hard for me to believe that. You know, I look, if you're running a multi-billion-dollar corporation and you said that you misplaced $100,000 or even $1 million, I could say, okay, I really could. But if you said that you misplaced $13 billion or $8 billion or how many ever $billion you want to say it is, then no, that's not no, I can't believe that. You know, me personally cannot believe that.
If you have, I wouldn't even say billions because that's another level. I would say millions, right? If you have a company that's dealing with millions from other people, the least you should have it's like a board member that keeps records of everything and help you guide you through the law. Like,
I mean, you have to keep basic accounting in the smallest business. If you own a hot dog stand, you need to keep accounting. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter how much money's involved. You have to keep at least the very basic accounting records. I mean, it makes no.
I mean, he said he bought so many. Well, they say it, right? I don't know if he said it.
Yeah. See, that's another thing too. So we never know.
How do you buy property not having records of your business? Like,
well, and what I've read, you know, I don't know and as we're talking right now, we're talking about things that we've read that we can't know as fact, right? So I'm hoping more fact will come out, but you never know what you can believe anymore, to be honest. But you know, we've seen firsthand that what they're saying is that he bought millions and millions of dollars. Hey, Empress.
Letting her know she's not in the room.
Now she's gone again. She's gone again.
Wait, hold on. Before we go back, Empress, can you hear us?
I can hear you, but I can't. I guess my camera is still loading. Sorry, I overheated.
No problem. You can, participate like that. It's all good.
Yeah, the phone probably doesn't like the sauna.
Yeah.
It loves the sauna. It just doesn't like when I'm using it like for streaming purposes in the sauna. Yeah,
exactly. Heat and phones do not go well together.
Hey, I'm not even gonna go there because I already told you to buy a Samsung. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. The whole, that's the whole Elon thing is hilarious with the phone, with the Apple battle, and then now they're friends again, and it's just, I don't know. Some of it's just laughable. It's like they're playing a game with our lives. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, oh, okay, I'm going to talk trash about Apple today, and then tomorrow I'm going to talk about how cool we are, and I'm cool with that.
I wanted him to create that new phone, but at the same time, I get scared with too much power in one's hand. But then everything we deal with, if we go to, I'm not going to be even saying names, but there's a company that everybody knows the name of. It starts with B, and it has trillions of dollars, and they move around and do crazy things, right? So too much power on one hand. I don't know, how, if that's good, but I love that man. What he's doing and all the
Well,
ideas.
honestly, as far as the hardware is concerned, I don't. It's a different story, but I think that okay. So if Starlink works right, and he does truly blanket the planet with high-speed internet, right? He will effectively cover the planet with cell service. It'd be satellite phones, but it would be the same difference, right? So he would own the market pretty quickly in that he covered, there would be no dead spots. I mean, if the planet's covered in satellites and you can get internet anywhere on the planet, then you will be able to use your phone. Now, the biggest thing is with those phones is that, and the satellites, is it doesn't work as well in large cities. It actually works worse in large cities and better in large open areas, which for him at the moment is not a problem because that's not really the purpose, right? The purpose is to reach people who can't get service.
That's why he made a partnership here in Brazil. He came down to the Amazons and I think he was putting Wi-Fi for a few schools there.
Yeah, and he's using Starlink, so he every time he puts one of those rockets up in the air, and for years for at least a couple of years, he's been launching rockets and putting loaf of bread size satellites up, and there's thousands of satellites around the planet. His plan is to completely cover the planet with high-speed internet. He can already do the majority of it, so it's a matter of time if it's allowed. There's, like you said, it becomes a situation. Then is it okay for one person to have control of satellites that blanket the entire planet? Because like I said, I mean, you could own everything: television, cell phone, everything could run through that one system, right? And it would basically make all other systems obsolete. So at some point you'd have to break it up because it would be a monopoly of like nobody's ever seen before. But who knows what happens? It's global. It's like we've never seen before. It's a global type business that we've never actually experienced. I don't think yet. The internet's the closest, but this is on another level.
A monopoly.
Yeah, I mean, but if he does the hardware too, then there's no doubt it's a monopoly. I mean, they'd break him up in America quick, because if he's doing the hardware, the software, the satellites, the rockets to put the satellites up in the air, I mean, he owns every aspect of the business, I mean, every single aspect.
With the new chip, man.
Yeah, the cars and the trucks that bring the parts to the factory that shoots it up, I mean, it goes on and on and on.
I bring, I do it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't look. I've always said, I admire him. He is definitely forward thinking, and he definitely sets his sights on something and does his very damnedest to get there. And regardless of who says he can't, and he still does it. But at the same time, I don't know that I don't say if he is or he isn't a good person. I don't know. None of us know that, right? But I do know I don't want to be
I don't think there is much of what we would call ideas for like a regular person. I think he's like 95% work and 3% family and 2%. 1% for himself and another 1% to the rest.
and that's what he expects, and that's inevitably that's what he at least partially expects from people that work for him to do the same thing. So it's hard to do. So I'm sure he puts people in a tough situation. But it's business at the same time. I don't know. It's like, when you need that one person to make that hard decision to save the whole world, then that's awesome. But you don't want to be the person that they're cutting loose to save the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're a good person unless it's you that's got to go, because there's no doubt in my mind he'd make that. I don't know that he'd even have a hard time with that decision, honestly. I think that I think he'd be like, okay, this person, whole world, that's a done deal. That's not
And getting back to the topic of FTX and combining with Elon, I mean, monopoly is bad because imagine if anything, like, of course, it's not going to happen like that. I mean, I hope, SBS and Elon, but if that man crashed, that would like break the economy.
Yeah. Oh,
Tesla, neuro, oh my God, man. I don't even know how many billions that is. That would definitely have a big impact.
well, I mean, you look at you talk about big impacts. I mean, everybody better hope that Binance is solid, because if not, if something was to happen to Binance, especially anytime in the near future, it'd be a problem for crypto. Because right now they're probably the on the sturdiest footing, which is ironic at the least, considering how things were a year or two ago and the reputation that Binance had. And then now you look at the reputation that Binance has as the one that's telling everybody else what you should be doing, or at least making suggestions, or, I don't like it when somebody blames CZ for FTX, whether he did it on purpose or not. It was a house of cards that was going to fall eventually. So the only thing, if he did, and regardless of the reasons, I don't know that he did it for good reasons, bad reasons, greedy reasons, vindictive.
At least he did it at the right time. At least he did it at the right time.
Yeah, he did. You know what exactly? What happens if you let it go through another bull run? This guy's worth $100 billion, and he keeps stealing everybody's money, and nobody figures it out ever because he gets enough money that you can't stop him now. Because he was playing the game in a different way too.
Before you keep your thought, let me bring somebody up to share the thought with us. Good night, buddy. How you doing?
What's up, there?
Hoodie. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Talking about CZ, FTX.
Oh, Big Daddy CZ? Yeah, Big Daddy CZ's coming to save us all.
Yeah, that's what he wants us to believe for sure.
He's coming to save everybody, man. He's saving Voyager, everybody, man.
Yeah.
What's up,
Emma? How he doesn't know if CZ did it on purpose or not. The whole FTX announcement.
Yeah, like
and I don't even care. That's my biggest point. Is I don't care if he did do it. If he did it for vindictive reasons, greed, or to do it as a good reason, it needed to be done. That house of cards needed to fall, before it got worse.
Yeah, from what I understand, this has been. I know some people that were a part of the Voyager situation. They were victims of that, and it was interesting how Sam was able to keep CZ. Binance had the highest bid for Voyager, and Sam pulled some of them political ties, some of those political strings, and was able to keep CZ out of the mix. And so CZ was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you want to do."
Yeah.
Okay,
right before you. That's exactly what I was going to touch on too. Right before you came on,
was me?
He's like, hey, and then all of a sudden, he said, and all the FTT that he dumped was all just staking rewards.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. He didn't even actually get to the bag.
Nah,
all it was rewards.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And the thing is I part of it is I think that with those political ties, I think he became very dangerous, and that he was going to be able to do what he wanted to do to those people, to the CZs and the everybody else of the world, because he was going to use, whether he had enough money or not, he would still get it.
Yeah, if you see what CZ's doing now, like, I mean, look, in the last one you got Celsius, you got Voyager, and then Gemini just had a issue recently too. So I think CZ's just trying to take over the whole Western Hemisphere.
Well, I think what he'll do is he'll either take it over or he'll kill it. He'll do the exact same thing he did to FTX. It's either it's a hostile takeover,
but it makes more sense. It makes more sense if he snatches them all up and then onboards them on the Binance. Like, you can't lose. You know,
it
makes more sense.
It's not like those guys need money, and it's not like if the market went from 65K a Bitcoin to 10, it's not like it's gonna matter for them. They know it's gonna go back up, and at the same time, man, their pockets are very happy already.
Yeah, this is play money. This is play money for him.
Well, like he said, and what he said, what I saw a quote from CZ today was that look, there's no reason for me to go after other people's holders necessarily, because we're only 6% of the planet. It makes more sense to go after the other 94% of the planet than it does the other. He just wants, but I think that he understands that as they fall, they drag the entire bit of crypto with them. So it's better, let's go ahead and get them the hell out. One way or another. Now, whether he owns it or doesn't, if it's on solid footing, he can't do anything to it. There's nothing he's going to be able to do to it because it's solid.
But I look at it like this. If you can, I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me a conspiracy theorist. Okay, I'll go ahead and accept that. All right. So. What I will say is this. I think that if they're moving all the big pieces off the chessboard, you notice all these crypto billionaires is just, going bye-bye. They're moving all the big players off the chessboard. Now, once that happens, what do they do? Think about historically how this has happened. Wall Street, look at the real estate market. They knock all the big dogs out the way, and then what comes in? New regulation. And with new regulation comes what? New money. Ching ching. And then with new money becomes a whole nother revenue stream for taxation. Boom. Yeah. This is just my theory. You know what I'm saying? Look.
And just
I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not Nostradamus, okay?
And adding to that, while you were speaking, I was thinking about it. It's funny how last year, if I'm not mistaken, the United States, they were like, it was 2 years ago, they were pressuring Binance for, I don't know if it was a lawsuit or something like that. They were trying to get a lawsuit, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, if I recall it. So what did they do? They went to Dubai or wherever they went to, Mm-hmm. And now in my mind, I see FTX donating a lot of millions of dollars for the party of the actual president, which was the one who was trying to go after Binance.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if that's all coincidence or if he knew he was going to screw them over together.
Hey, you know what? Honestly,
payback is a big.
Hey, yo, Junior. Guess what? Your inner conspiracy theorist is working too. Good job, man. See, we here, Junior. We here. You get it. Hey, there she goes. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. What's up?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. How are you guys? You see,
where you at?
At the gym.
You at the gym?
My phone. I am at the gym.
Okay. Shout out to everybody Shout out to everybody getting in shape.
He was live with us a few minutes ago in the sauna, man.
Yeah, I did see. Briefly. I guess she had to go away because of YouTube.
Have to go real quick, but really crazy how those centralized exchanges are just dropping like flies one after the next, man. That's just crazy. That just emphasizes the importance of DeFi, and having control of your own.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something. You know what the funny thing is? It's not as decentralized as people think. You see what Uniswap is doing now? They're collecting data for everything.
Yeah.
So every wallet that's attached to a centralized exchange, pretty soon you're gonna have the KYC for Uniswap. Just watch.
Yeah. So good thing we got Data Pro.
I mean, honestly,
guess
with
what?
regulations,
when you get it off Data Pro, it's got to go through a centralized exchange to cash out.
We are gonna have the card to crypto option. Yes, we're probably gonna have to KYC with.
Yep. And if it's gonna be used in the United States by U.S. citizens, 𝗖𝗢𝗡 is gonna have to go ahead and bow down to the to the system. It's gonna have to happen. There's no way around it.
We used to it, man. We used to take a lot of
KYC.
Like check it out. So notice this. You got Binance and you got Binance US, right? Note if you look at the vast amount of tokens that are cryptos that are available on regular Binance versus Binance US, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's
absolutely.
a reason for that. At one point, couldn't you get XRP on Binance?
Well, I'm sure you could get it anywhere at one point, just about.
Yeah, but you can never get it on Binance US.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is the securities laws and whatnot is what they have to stay away from. So they're real picky about what they put on Binance US. They're mostly blue chips and whatnot. Not all blue chips, but mostly. They're basically companies that'll handle their own legal battle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I think that the Binance US is a perfect example. You can't even get Binance US everywhere in the US. So, there are certain states, New York State, you can't get Binance US. No, you can't. I mean, it's so you don't even, and to think that Binance is by far, a long ways, the largest by volume exchange in the world and really have barely touched the US market.
I mean, is that surprising? Like, look at like you gotta think, man. You know what it is? We're so arrogant as Americans, bro. We really be thinking like we like.
No, it's about the money, though. The money is what I'm saying, though. Because you got to look at.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that Crypto.com and Coinbase are both top 10, and they're both almost completely set up by Americans, right? So if Americans were all using the same exchange, imagine what that volume would be. If it wasn't split between Crypto.com and all these, you know what I'm saying?
That's just like
that's another point on that as well. The last few years, Binance has grown like crazy. 2019 it was in the millions, and then 2020 was 5.5 billion, and 2021 was 20 billion.
Man. It is what it is, bro. We just gotta Coinbase will be there soon. It's gonna get to the point where Coinbase is about to be your only option because the way
that's what it's all. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. See, the KYC, we've been told by a major exchange, we've been told that it will KYC is absolutely going to have to happen. Look, anytime you deal with a bank ever, you have to KYC.
Yep.
Period. The bank cannot deal with you unless you KYC. So that in and of itself means you're not going to be able to transfer money from crypto to your bank account unless you KYC. That's the only way it's going to happen. In America, I'm sure there in other countries, in other places, I'm sure there's other ways around some of that. But pretty much all of them, Binance US, Binance World, it doesn't matter. They all require you to KYC. You have to KYC. So it's just going to happen, whether we like it or not. Because look, the government doesn't care that we make money on crypto. The government cares that we pay taxes. They just want to make sure we pay taxes on crypto.
Hold on. This is what I need you to do, bro. Just to make sure you on point, okay? Say that one more time, please.
The government doesn't care if we make money off of crypto. They just want to make sure we pay taxes on crypto. And that's all they care about. Do they care whether we get ripped off or not? Kinda. Not really. All they really care about is how much money. Because if they could tax the people who are ripping us off, that's why they don't like us getting ripped off, because they're not taxing those people.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? They want us to pay taxes.
Here's another thing too. So it's like this. Think about how many banks now. Like I was just talking to Jessica 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗏 over at Sky. She was having issues getting ETH from PNC, right? She was getting like Chase doesn't do crypto. Like a lot of these banks are just like not happening. Okay. So with that being said, think about how many phone calls since this last bull run. The last bull run was fantastic. Why? Because projects could actually get over $1 million market cap. Why? Because the gas was stupid. You know. Now think about how with all the rugs, all the honeypots. The average person who's new to this swapping mechanism, what are they gonna do? They're gonna call their bank and be like, "Hey, Barb, this is what I need you to do. So I got rug pulled." She's like, "What is a rug pull?" He's like, "Well, I bought some Ethereum. I sent it to my decentralized wallet, and then I pressed the swap button. I don't know. Just get loss prevention here on the phone." So now you got to explain to Chase that you got scammed, right? They're sitting there looking like an idiot. Then and this is consistently happening. I have a friend that works at Bank of America. She said she had no idea what this was, but they just got an influx of calls from people talking about how they got rug pulled and honeypotted. They were like, "What the hell is that?" So at that point, now they got to reimburse you because you took a loss as a customer. And that's it. And this consistently happens. Then you got some people that take it a step further and call the SEC themselves. You know what I mean? So they have to bring regulation in. It's inevitable. It is that's
a good point on regulations, because if they are going to regulate everything, then that means they're going to take charge of everything. And if something wrong's happened, then they got to take care of it as well. Yep. That's actually a good point. You know, how would they like? They would definitely create a new law. Oh, if you buy crypto, you do not get reimbursed. They will create something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
you just took an L.
Yeah, they could put that on every billboard and everywhere in America. You know, if you can buy, you're free to buy all the crypto you want, but if you lose any, it's your fault.
That's your bad.
Don't call us. Yeah, lose our number.
Excuse me. I got rug pulled. It sounds like a personal problem to me.
Call 188. Your fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, facts, man.
Well, it would be nice, the regulations as well, because if you do lose money, even though you're not going to get your money back, but then if you can use the money that you lost on your taxes to, take it out on taxes, that's already something.
It sounds good.
It's going to be a balance.
They gotta get.
I feel it'll be a balance. I feel like it's going to have to be. We're like most things in life. We'll have to find that happy balance, something we can live with, right? Where the decentralization meets centralization, because decentralization sounds great until you start considering security in decentralization.
And think about and the amount of people that are involved, in this wild west, this little 2% corner of ours that don't read Solidity. They have no clue about smart contracts. They're just like, well, my boy Chris did it, and he made millions, so I can do it too. It's like, nah, dog, that ain't how this goes.
That's where education comes in, man. That's where we have to keep that knowledge flowing, and that's what we've been doing lately.
Yep. And
here's some education for all you DJs that may be watching this. Just because you saw somebody get rich off SHIB 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, whatever, that don't mean it's gonna happen for you. So do some, and guess what? Look, just walk out your front door, look at the global economic landscape, and if you think that this little 2% quarter of crypto is gonna defy that right now, you're an idiot. Okay. And I have one thing to say to you.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Thank you. Now I got a round table to get to, ladies and gentlemen. Worldwide Crypto is expecting me, and I promise to give the sound.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Appreciate it, bro, for stopping by, hanging out with us for a little bit.
Hey,
always good to have you here.
Hey, everybody, give it up for Rise Up, people. All right,
guys. Make sure to give a follow to Darren on his YouTube. On his Twitter. It's I actually did tag him. It's Darren Official. Make sure you follow him as well.
As I told you, I'm going to have to be so I don't have to run too quick, but I'll have to, in a couple minutes. I got to go. I've already gotten the tap on the shoulder a second ago. It was like, psst, psst, hey. Okay.
That's why you took your video off, right?
Yeah.
The camera
Exactly.
was off for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I think I did see a spoon flying over your head, but
That's right. That's right. Hey,
it's still good.
boss.
But
The boss says what I got to do. So
next week, everyone. Today was a kind of a short live. Next week we are gonna have some very. I'll promise you what. Every week, me and Ty, we're gonna be getting some new great topics. Even though we gotta say the same thing over and over again, because people gotta learn that, or people gotta listen to that. But we're gonna try to bring other new information as well. Next week we'll be teaching you guys how you can do on yourself. Of course, if you're smart enough, you can always buy the rug screener, which is very cheap, and you can, follow up on the projects, see if there's anything about it. And even if the project is not on the app, you can definitely DM Ty and the Rise Up team and ask them about a project that you wanna that you're looking into, and I'm sure they would, take a look at it and help it out. I always tell everybody the first and the best, safest way to be in crypto is by being secured, right? If you're not doing the right thing, it doesn't matter if your project is going to go up or down, because at the end of the day, you're not going to have any money. Somebody's going to steal from you. So if you don't want that happening, becoming rich and then poor, right? Or making some money and then losing it all. If you don't want that happening, you got to be very secure. And more than ever, with the whole FTX thing happening and others, BitConnect and others that has happened in the past, it's always good for everybody to know what they're doing and be safe. Decentralized exchange, a hot topic right now. But even decentralized exchange, you got to take care of your own money, your own holdings, right? It's not because it's decentralized, it's safe. No, there's a lot of steps that you got to take to be safe on crypto. It is possible, okay, to be safe on crypto. You just got to take the right steps. I know it's annoying. I know in regular basis words it sucks, but do what you got to do, and that will make you happy at the end, because you'll be safe. It doesn't matter if it's 1,000, if it's 1 million, but it is your money. And if you lose $10, it's not a good feeling, trust me. If you lose 1,000, if you lose much more, that's even worse. So learn how to be safe. Every week on Tuesday we're here. Next Tuesday we're gonna get some great topics to show honeypots, to show rug pools. For those of you that don't know what it is, if you want to get some more information on the Empress, by the way, I hope to see you here on Tuesday. Let me know. If you guys want, you can check the website, riseupofficial.finance. You can get all the information on the token, on the project. They did announce they did delay the metaverse project is coming out, which I totally agree on that.
𝗪𝗧𝗛, yeah, 𝗪𝗧𝗪.
The metaverse.
𝗪𝗧𝗪, yeah, token, yeah, 𝗪𝗧𝗪, the Ethereum token. He said metaverse.
This is the rug pull that I was talking about. It's an app. It costs right now, since everything is very cheap, it's less than $2. That's all I know, and it's not.
Yeah, it's not per use. It's all you have to do is hold $2 worth of. Well, it's not $2. It's 2 million Rise Up V2. As long as you hold it, you can use it as many times as you like. So it's unlimited use for that small amount of holding.
By the way, if you don't know, now you know. But if you don't know, Rise Up is one of the projects that has the best staking APRs. Okay, they've been doing something incredible. They've been keeping up. It always changes, but it's been more than 200%. The APRs. Right?
Yeah, in the last week or so, it dropped. We had a few pretty big buys about a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
It's always around there.
but it's like 176 or something like that right now. So and we're looking to pump that as soon as we, like I said, we have a lot of things that we're doing. We've gotten control of our staking contract, but we also are having to look forward beyond this contract. This contract lasts through February of 2023. And then after that, we'll have to have, our plan for the future and everything. So that's what we're doing now, is we're working on to make sure we're prepared for what happens in February. We're also working on what's going on now too, but we're having to do both at the same time, obviously, because February is really not that far away.
Good timing. For those that don't know, December and usually, right, doesn't mean it's every year, but December and January usually are not very good months. And then because there's like Christmas, New Year's, and then we have, it's either January or February, Chinese New Year. I think it's February.
Yeah, I think it's late
The beginning
February.
of February.
Or is it early February, late January, something like that? I remember my wife told me what it was last
And
time.
right after that, right after the Chinese New Year's, that's when, everything starts to pick up a little bit more. Not every single year, but usually it happens like that. So great timing, to do things in February. That's like, that's when I believe that's going to be the beginning of the next bull run. February, March should be green, and beyond that, I hope so, right? I mean, it's my opinion. But check it out, the token on the website, everyone. If you do have any questions, you can also check it out on the Twitter as well. Switch here. Rise Up's Twitter, which is Rise Up _thing LLC. You can always DM them, ask any questions you would like, and I'm sure they will be answering. Empress.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to add on to anything that we were saying before we go?
It's a little loud in here, so I'm trying to focus, trying to concentrate.
Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We did miss you on the channel, by the way.
Guys as well. I missed you guys as well. That's why just took the chance and jumped on, knowing that it would probably be chaos, which it was. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to join you guys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Every week we'll bring something new, new topics. We were gonna bring something this week, but then we need more time. Not that we need more time to get ready, but we need more time in live so we can talk about everything, right? And we're gonna live for next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull together a known rug pull. I'll probably try to pull together. I have an idea which one I want to use, but I want to make sure I want to have to go through it and make sure it's one that's not too. I don't want it to be too terribly complicated to see the red flags. I want to be able to show them, and not have to click a million times to go down a rabbit hole. I want to try to find one that's fairly quick and easy to find, but a known rug pull so that we're not, trying to expose anything or anybody or, and going down a new rabbit hole. We'll go down an old rabbit hole so we know what we're going after, and we can say, this is what you need to look for. This is exactly what they did. This is when they did it. This is how they did it, and these are keys of being able to maybe recognize it in the future. Just understand that there's many different ways to do things. So there's a lot of education. You can never stop educating yourself when it comes to crypto, because every time we adapt, they adapt.
Definitely.
Next Tuesday, there will be a lot of education with the Rise Up and 𝗖𝗢𝗡 education. Oh, Empress education, sorry.
Yep. There you go.
I looked at your name and then I read it. I didn't want to read it, but then, automatically I read it. Everyone, thank you for joining. And I appreciate all the comments, all the love. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to share this live. Good information we did share here. Next Tuesday, we are going to bring more information on rug pull, honeypots, and some other news as well. I'm sure this week is going to come out some information on FTX and this whole circus that's happening. But thank you for showing up. Empress, once again, thank you for being here with us. Everybody, make sure you drop and subscribe to Empress YouTube, which is Empress Education. you will definitely find her. You will also find her on Twitter, Saitama Empress, and you can find Rise Up and Thai on Twitter as well. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys on next Tuesday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye bye.
Bye, buddy.
Great night.
Thanks. I'll see y'all later. I gotta go.